I am so sorry. This is terrible. We're bad. That was an absolute cluster of an intro, and it's all Joel's fault.
Oh my gosh, that was
I wouldn't have it anywhere.
Oh,
I wouldn't have it
where's
anywhere.
Audra?
You know,
Where's Audra?
I'll take the blame. It happens.
There she
Hey,
is.
everyone, how are you guys? How's everyone doing?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I'm
gracious.
exhausted.
That's it.
Whoa.
See ya.
Like that.
That's it.
Nancy and
You know, the funny thing is,
Audra
Jordy,
and Rachel.
Hi, everybody.
I don't know who else is still working.
Hey.
I'm like yelling at you, Jordy, and I forgot I was on mute. So, you know.
Me too. I'm like you're sharing the screen.
That's one way to shut him up, Jordy.
That's right. So welcome everybody to Metal Detecting Nation. And if this is your first time seeing Metal Detecting Nation, we are just celebrating what a great community we have, being able to talk and discuss certain aspects of the metal detecting hobby with people from all over the world, literally all over the world. And at various times we have different themes, we share things, and we have different guests. And today we are so grateful to have Digging with Deej. Deej is on our Metal Detecting Nation stream. So welcome to our stream, Deej.
Thank you.
Hi, Deej.
Hey,
Deej.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
So,
Right,
Deej,
love
we kind of just go around and ask people how their week was, and you'll be last, and then you'll get the quiz. So, Joel, how was your week?
Okay. Okay.
Good. It was
Yep.
good. I went out with you two numbskulls last weekend, and using the Knox the first really full day, and that thing's a beast. I gotta tell you. So, found a Civil War button, large cent.
Nice.
Found a first or second year shield nickel with had raise. So it was fun. So there.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I got my tail kicked metal detecting by both Dave and by Joel, but it was great. It was a lot of fun, and it's not about what you.
Not a
find, it's who you-
competition.
No, not at all. Not at all. In any way, it's just great getting out and swinging. Nancy, how was your week?
It seems like it's Groundhog Day every day now. Getting through it. Didn't really go out with anybody digging. I kind of went in my backyard for a little bit. Just wasn't the same. And that's about it. I'm here. I just did a live stream today before this thing here. So that was kind of fun and interesting. And thank you, anybody that came to it. I was really surprised and shocked. So
Awesome.
yeah, that's about it.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, that's
sorry.
great. And if for some reason any of you have missed Ambient Girl Relic Hunter and her actual channel, here's her channel. And she did a live stream today, as she said. Look
I think
at
we
this,
should watch it.
everybody. Look at this, everybody. 926 subscribers.
Ooh.
She's so close to 1,000.
Yeah,
So
you got to hit that subscribe button there.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. So
Busted.
you guys are terrible. No,
You did it.
Busted.
no, I don't subscribe to anybody on this channel,
Oh,
Well, you
yeah,
should.
that's true. We are on the metal.
but I will
You just
absolutely.
did.
Oh my god, yeah. There
No
you go.
worries.
Okay.
Now
All right.
Nancy's special.
Getting
I am
called
special.
out. Here
Thank
we
you.
go. All right, so let's go right to Audra. How was your week, Audra?
Well, crazy busy week. But Rachel and I did get out, and we had a great time. It was beautiful. And Rachel kicked my butt this time. But it was a blast.
That is cool. And Rachel, how are you doing? And how was your week?
It's kind of weird to ask us separately now, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It was good. I didn't cancel my vacation time that I had taken off, so I didn't work until today.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's got to be really strange, specifically for you, Rachel, because you're out and about every day doing absolute essential work, and not that you're not Audra or any of
Oh
like
no, I felt
anybody
real
else.
essential today, delivering fishing tackle and sweaters all day.
Oh boy.
Essentials.
Gotta be essential.
So, Dave, how was your week, buddy?
It's been boring except for when we went out last weekend. That was nice.
Yeah.
Had fun.
Oh.
That field we were at just keeps surprising me. That's for sure.
Yeah, Dave, you found a Bank of Montreal halfpenny token.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so some really cool
Beautiful.
stuff over there.
Beautiful Indian head, 1866.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh,
a nice
1866.
IHP.
That thing was stunning.
Yeah.
It was in perfect shape.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
we're not going to tell you what we found. We're going to let you watch the video.
that's
I know.
exactly
I can't
right.
wait.
Saturday.
All right, Deej, it's up to you. It's on you now. So, how was your week? Welcome to the show. And
Doing my
look forward-
darndest to stay busy.
I hear you.
The greenhouse, the places that I get my seeds, because I normally do container gardening on the deck, but I've decided to, because I like to buy a lot of fresh produce. So I decided on growing it. Well, the places I buy stuff are closed. They're not considered essential businesses. So I found some other places to buy some seed in town, and they did curbside delivery, or just order it online, pay for it, and pull up and honk your horn. Pop the trunk, they put it in the trunk, and away you go.
The new way of life.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I was
Yep,
saying it's a
so-
new way,
Oh yeah, the new
norm.
form of shopping now. And so I've been working on getting my cold and cool crops in, like my lettuces, my spinach, radishes, the snow peas that you use for stir fry, and get those going on the deck. My spinach is in the ground, and cleaning up the yard. I ordered a puzzle online. See if I can get this in front of there. It's a Louisiana paddle boat.
Nice.
So work
They
on
said
that for an
puzzle
hour or
sales
two,
are
and
up.
then I believe it. I believe it. So this one's taken me a bit. It's been a few years since I've worked on a puzzle. So just trying to stay busy.
So speaking of that, now if you're not familiar with where Deej is in our world, she lives in Michigan, and Michigan's quite different than Ohio right now. And what's the status of you metal detecting right now in Michigan?
We're still in shelter in place, except for going to the store for food, medicine, to take care of family. We're allowed to go out, but we have to distance ourselves, social distancing. Let's see, the county just south of me and Wayne County and Detroit are getting hit the hardest. I mean, the county south of me, I think, is up to 3,800 positive. So my township in my county is, I think it was up to 8 the other day. I haven't checked it today yet. 8 positive cases, no deaths, but it's going all around us and up the sides of our county. So it's knocking on our back door. It's just a matter of time before it gets here. So
Well, we hope
staying home.
we hope you stay safe, and I understand the decision to stay home.
I
It's interesting.
agree. We're saving lives by doing that.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are debating online whether to go metal detecting and whether not to, and where to go. And, you know, the parks, from what I hear in certain states, are still full, very full. And even down south, there's people who are still avoiding all of the warnings that they should not be congregating in large amounts. And
Right.
it's still literally going on within our state. And I'm really hoping
Mhm.
that, you know, this just kind of disappears pretty quickly. But I'm unfortunately thinking that this is going to be with us for a little bit of time. And
Yeah,
it's
they just closed our county and state parks because people were gathering.
Our
And-
county and state parks are still open, but they have taped off all the playground stuff.
Yeah, they've done that here also. Yep.
And that.
Yep. Yep. Same here. So question for you, Deej, when did you start metal detecting, and what got you hooked? What was it that was that story behind all stories of you going out on your first adventure, and what brings you to the point that you're at now with your addiction to, I would say, treasure hunting? Maybe not
Treasure
always.
hunting.
Yes, not always metal detecting.
Okay. Well, my treasure hunting addiction started as a kid. I used to spend summers with different grandparents, and my step grandmother and my grandpa over on the other side of the state near Casanova. He was a farmer, and he was also the postmaster. And when I would stay with them, I mean, it was a big farm, so I would go out exploring, and I found a dump. But I didn't find it until I was like 18 years old. I went and spent the weekend with them at 17 or 18, and I went for a walk. I was really upset because Grandpa's farm was along the railroad tracks, and his only horse, my favorite horse, got hit by the train.
Oh,
So I was upset, went for a walk alone, and I found this dump on Grandpa's property. I was like shocked. Now, it was a 2 or 3 generation farm. He was 3rd generation, and started pulling stuff out of the dirt. I was like, it was unbelievable, the stuff I was pulling out of the dirt. And I pulled this out. I don't know if you can see it. And it was in pieces. And my dad helped me get it restored. And all I need now is the glass hurricane and a globe to go around it.
that's amazing. That's
So
fabulous.
that's how I got hooked on digging in dumps.
That's pretty cool.
So I think I was 19. Yeah, 19 when I got married to my boy's dad. Every year I'd ask for a metal detector. Nobody would take me seriously because back then it was more of a guy's hobby. Girls didn't do stuff like that. Okay. Asked for it on and off for 30 years before I finally got a metal detector. My boys bought me one, and they bought me the Ace 400. And that, but it didn't get brought back up, as you know, my kids ask me every year what I want for Christmas. Normally I don't have any ideas, and they get so disgusted with me. But I was divorced. I was dating a guy that worked for Chrysler, rich, and we had dinner, and he goes, "Oh, I need to change our plans for this Saturday." I said, "Why? What's up?" And he goes, "I'm going metal detecting with the guys." And I said, "Oh, cool. I've always wanted to do that." He goes, "Really?" I said, "Really?" He goes, "Well, I got an extra machine." And that's all it took. My first coin I ever found was a German Pfennig. We were metal detecting one of his permissions that was a German grocer. And that's how I ended up with all these Pfennigs that I gave out 2 Christmases ago. So, and I was hooked. After I found my first German Fennec, I was hooked.
You still have the coin?
I still have the first one, yes.
Good.
Cool.
And we're near and dear to female metal detectorists. We love, talking about them, sharing them. We love, spreading the gender equality, so to speak, of detectorists, because there is this unfortunate mindset that it's a male thing, and it really needs to be. I don't know. I like a lot of the female detectorists that we've had on our show. Obviously, Audra and Rachel and Nancy are awesome, but it is something that is a little bit, I don't know, less. I'm looking for a word and probably have had a little too much to
Well,
drink.
when I first started, it was like less common.
Yeah.
But I was shocked how many women detectorists there really are out there. I was shocked. I thought I had got them all for my last women in metal detecting video, and I still missed some.
You
So
got a lot
there's-
this year compared
Yeah.
to last year's.
Oh, I know.
Your video had a lot more this year, so it's nice to see the real metal detectors out there.
Right.
No, that was great, because that video that you released this past month of all the females, there's people in there I didn't even realize. And I was like, had no idea. And of course, when you first start out,
And I
you
felt so
you
bad.
search female
Yeah.
ones, but they don't all come up. So, I mean, I appreciate that. Thank you, because I was able
Right.
to sub and follow some of those channels.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
felt bad. I missed Mama's Gone Detecting. It was like, how can you miss that? It was like, oh no. I told her, I'm so sorry.
Wow, we all
that
love
happens.
Brenda.
It's hard to get everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always miss some. I missed some the first year and I missed some this year. So,
Well, you just got to do it again next year.
yep. Every year I do it again. I'm making notes so that hopefully I don't miss anybody, but
What about
So,
Jolene?
go ahead, Joel.
I said, what about Jolene detecting?
I'm not
Mm.
Never
familiar
mind.
with that one.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Jolene.
Jody.
You don't have enough hair.
She got it.
That was great.
So I found out about you, Deej, when you started metal detecting with Donnie, and I know you and Donnie are real close. And so Donnie and
Yeah.
I and Joel and Dave had detected before for a while, and so I started watching your videos, and I love your videos, and they're really informative. And what I like about them is that they're not only metal detecting, that they are treasure hunting, and there's a lot of other things that you choose to do with your channel, and a lot of people are, I'm hoping, leaning that way. I know Joel's discussed talking about going into doing other things on his channel, not just metal detecting. And I think it's important that, we call it treasure hunting. And so I really appreciate that you have what you do on your channel. I think it's great.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I started my channel because when my boys got me my first detector, I couldn't find a whole lot of people using my detector. They were all using the high-end models. And, when my boys suggested getting on YouTube, I told my oldest son when he said, "Oh, Mom, you're finding good stuff. You need to start a YouTube channel." And I thought he was crazy. And I mean, within like 2 weeks, I had 100 subscribers. I'm going, whoa. I was like shocked. And, but, it just evolved. But my channel is about metal detecting on a budget. I am newly retired. So I'm on a fixed income, and you got to get creative. I mean, I've been fortunate. The majority of my equipment have been gifts by my sons. I bought the T2 myself because I needed a machine that I could ground balance myself manually, and for that would go deep. I needed a deep seeking machine, and to do farm fields. I was taking my Ace 400 into this one farm field. All the detectors in the area told me I was wasting my time. That place was nothing but, iron everywhere. And I would detect with my Ace 400. I did find a silver and amber earring. I did find it with the Ace 400, but there were just so many signals of iron, it was literally nulling my machine out. So I called my friend Justin down in Ohio, Justin DePace, and I asked him, how can I get what I need to get a machine that doesn't null out like this. This is driving me crazy. You know, I do farms up here. They all have lots of iron. And he was the one that suggested the Technetics T2. So, and I'm really happy with it. I love that machine. I have found so many cool things with it. I love the Garrett too. You know, I use the Garrett for park hunting, for house yard hunting. I actually use them both. Like around the farmhouse on my permissions, I'll start with the Garrett and then I'll finish with the T2.
So the T2 is similar to what the F70 or 75, and
it's made by Texas Instruments, or
yeah.
Technetics.
So yeah, so it's supposed to be a phenomenal machine in the field. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people
I think it's one of the top 4 deepest detectors on the market.
That's what Brad from the Hoover Boys, he loves his. He's I think he might maybe a Fisher. No, it's a T2. And I know he used that in a lot of videos. T2. Yeah, he loves it. But, you know where they're at, so.
Right.
Cool. So hey Deej, you know everybody has bucket listers, right?
Yeah.
What's your white whale?
It's a Merc. It's a Merc. I got a video coming up that I actually found a coin at my home site of tragedy, and I didn't know what it was. I had to try to call Don. I called Mike. Mike was able. I couldn't get a hold of Don, so I called Mike at M.A. Lyman and asked him what it was, and he goes, "Oh my God!" So I got that video coming up. I got a coin. I won't say what it is. That is on Coin Shooter's bucket list.
Ooh,
All I'm gonna say, I looked at it and I thought it was something else, and I'm going, that's the wrong kind of metal. You know, so
When's that video coming out?
I think in the next couple weeks. I'm trying to interweave some from last year and then my videos from this year. I have 4 videos that I did so far this year, and then I still have 10 or more. I think I have 14 videos left total.
Wow,
So, because I always stockpile.
that's smart.
very smart.
July, August, September. I stockpile in case we have a long winter.
Very smart.
So if you had, this is something that maybe Audra would ask. If you had your way, are you a woods detectorist, a beach detectorist, a park detectorist, relic, coin? What would you prefer? What is it for you that you like?
I'm a relic hunter, and I prefer farm fields where homes used to be, or cellar holes. That's what I detect mostly. I do some house sites, but they're usually farms. So I find more relics there. I dig less modern stuff at my farms than I do, in the towns near me. So
You find some amazing permission sites. How do you find these farm fields and where these houses used to be? You've got a knack for history, lady.
I do a lot of research. I have been researching a tornado that went through our area, went for like 40 some miles or 50 some miles in the 1800s. So I work to get permissions of where there's nothing but a cellar hole left, or the house could still be standing, whatever the case may be. And that's all of my permissions are within that stretch of 50 some miles. So, because you never know what you're
Made
going to
this.
dig up, and it doesn't mean it was, it belonged to that site. It could have just blown there, So I find a lot of unusual items that way.
Were you able to connect to any of those items that you found from the tornadoes to any of the farm families?
No, but I ordered some Riker boxes to start putting my finds in for each location so that the owners and I can go to a meeting once they're able to open up. They postponed their spring opening at the museums, at all 3 of the museums. So we can't donate the stuff yet.
That's a great idea,
Because they
though.
still, like the Homestead tragedy, everybody in the family died. The husband lived for a few days, but everyone else was killed. So some of that stuff could be theirs. We don't know. But it's from the site where the house used to be. So the museum is still happy to get it.
That's very cool.
And then I just wanted to share the picture you made for us, laminated of our area.
Yeah,
So you use stuff like this for research.
yeah.
Great. Thank you again.
You're
Yes.
welcome. Yeah. And if you can't find what you're looking for, from your own computer, once, what we got going on in the world is over with, go to your state library. They have a lot to offer, if even more than what's available online for the state library. There's even more than that because, you can only access so much if it's been, transcribed or whatever, put on the net. There's a lot that's not. So, and you check with your museums. Some of them have old maps. So,
Yeah, maps are fun.
yeah. Well, Ryan's got a permission. My digging buddy, he and I haven't dug together yet this year, but he has a friend that bought a house that is on a piece of property where there used to be a railroad depot that we'll have sometime this year if this, once everything's back to normal. So that's going to be an interesting location in that. So the house is really old, and then there was a railroad depot behind it, on the same piece of property. So that's interesting. Let's see, Mike, my digging buddy that's an archaeologist, he has a permission that's at an old postmaster's house. So I'm trying to do research online to try to find out any information about this postmaster, because I don't know if he went and delivered the mail, or if people came to his house to collect the mail, or did they go somewhere in town to get their mail? How that works, I'm not sure. Then to do with the tornado that went through, I've got a site that I haven't been able to catch anybody at home, and I can't do it now, but when the tornado went through, there was a property owner that was the township treasurer. And when the tornado hit, he had $3,000 worth of silver in a safe, or for safekeeping at his home. And it was all lost. The tornado hit the house and destroyed it. So who knows
You
if
got some
any of it's
digging.
still on his property or not. I don't know.
I guess when this is all over, we're all heading up there and hunting the deep.
We'll find it.
Yeah, because what would $3,000 worth of silver in 1880s be worth now?
Can you imagine?
It'll be worth
Depends on
the
the
road trip
coins.
for us to come help you.
Huh?
Worth the road trip for us to come help you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But that's one thing, you
For
do
sure.
a lot of collabs, and we really enjoy, digging with you, with Mike. And
Oh, yeah, we had a
enjoy your
blast
collab
in
videos.
Connecticut. We had a blast.
We did. Do you have any
Connecticut,
plans?
we had
for
blast at
this?
Pound Ground. Yeah, I was hoping to do more of that this year, but that's way things go sometimes. We'll save it for next year.
When things
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah, I know it's driving me nuts. I normally go down and dig with Don twice a month, maybe. It's like I'm talking to him, virtually every other day, but
When this is all over, there's gonna be like a worldwide earthquake because every detectorist in the entire world is gonna hit the ground with their shovel at the same time.
oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm
I
sure.
think we should schedule a big party. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Let's get one little spot to meet up and that's it.
Yeah. Well, Don was trying to set up something because Gypsy was supposed to be going sometime coming to Ohio. Gypsy and Amanda and Mike from All Metal Mike and Don used to do that. He used to set up hunts years ago. He's been detecting for 30 some years, I think.
Wow.
So that's where I met him. I met Don when he set up a memorial hunt, and this was in Newark, Ohio. And I had no idea that people got together and detected together. I had no clue that that was even a thing. It's probably maybe about 8 or 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there, I was like amazed. All these different people with all these different techniques and all these cool finds. And it became an immediate community to me. And I was so attracted to it. But then I find out Don goes into Kentucky and does all these different hunts. He loves going to the Boy Scout camps. He loves going to camping, those campgrounds and old campgrounds and finding all these things. And I think he's the guy that if we're going to set something up for everybody to go to, boy,
He
would that
should be the
fun.
one in charge of it because he would be good at that.
Yes, he would. Absolutely. So speaking
that.
of events, do you are you an event person? Do you like going to events? I think I saw a video that you were at Pound the Ground last year, and
I went to
with
quite
Don.
a few events last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like the events? And
I like the events to meet other detectorists. I'm more for finding natural finds, but it's fun every once in a while to do a seeded hunt. But I prefer to find natural finds. But that's not what I go to the events for. I go there to meet other detectorists. It's all about the people for me. So
It's the best finds.
yep,
Truly
It is.
is.
that's the best finds there are. Yeah. So
There you go. What's the most favorite find you have? Besides of all your detectorist friends, I mean,
yeah. Probably I got a bunch of them. My best collaboration find coin is with Don, and it is the Bank of Montreal half penny token. It's a 1844. My favorite relic, it's I got two that I can't choose between them. One is half of a Victorian cloak clasp. It's really ornate.
Beautiful.
The other one is the Ladies of the Maccabees Hive medallion. Those are my two favorites.
I like that.
And that. My favorite coin that I dug up here in Michigan would have to be my Barber half. I don't dig a whole lot of coins. I mean, I dig more coins down with Don. I think they were poor up here or something. I don't know. I don't dig that many coins. So not old coins. My oldest coin is an 1835 large cent. I dug that with Don. Let's see, I've dug a 1909, I think it is, Canadian large cent up here. And that, not a whole lot of silver.
So what about that little witch's jar thing that you
I know,
found?
I know.
Did you ever find out any more history behind that?
No, but I had so many. I mean, I found that thing, and then in a matter of a month, now, excuse me, Randy was supposed to come over here and take a look at it and use some of his machinery to check it out to make sure it's still safe. I did take it out of the shed because my shed started leaking and I didn't want it to get wet. Moved it onto the deck and just covered it up on a shelf. Didn't bring it in the house. But I had the weirdest things happen after that. I'm superstitious. I kind of got a sixth sense about stuff like this. I'm not psychic or anything like that, but as a kid, every once in a while, I would know something was going to happen before it happened. The phone, my grandmother used to call the same day every week at the same time. The phone rang an hour before she would have called. And before my mother picked up the phone, I said, I think that's the police calling, Mom. She picked up the phone and flipped out because her mother had passed away. Stuff like that. Or you get a bad heebie-jeebie feeling on your way home, driving home from work. When I get that feeling, I drive home a different way, and then I hear that was a bad car wreck, stuff like that. I didn't get that feeling with this jar, but I thought it was strange. Who the heck would collect something like that? So I called a friend who, they're not really a psychic, they're a sensitive. They can feel negative and positive energy. Okay, because I do believe in ghosts and things like that, because I've seen ghosts. My son was saved by the ghost of my grandmother, my oldest born son. He was born April, his birthday's coming up, April 26th. And this was like July. We rented a Cape Cod house. And Cape Cods have the real long hallway, and then you got all the little rooms on each side. And the master bedroom is at the end of the hallway. And Stevie's mobile went off at like 2:00 in the morning. It shouldn't have gone off. That had been wound up hours before. I sat up in bed, woke Steve up because my oldest son, when he was born, he had trouble breathing, and we had to put him in a harness with a monitor because he would forget to breathe. Okay. Well, he had wriggled out of this harness and we didn't know it. And all of a sudden, a really cool breeze in July blows down the hallway, and I sit up and look down the hallway and I see the silvery image. And at first I didn't know who it was. And then she turned her body and I saw more of a silhouette and realized it was my grandmother, who died before she could see my son. Woke my husband up. He saw her and flipped out. And I said, oh my God, something's wrong. And ran into Stevie's, and he had wriggled out of his harness and he was blue. So then my son grew up knowing that his spirit of his grandmother saved his life. So I do believe in things you can't explain. Okay. So unfortunately, Randy hasn't been able to come because I found that jar, and within 3 weeks, I had weird stuff happen around here. I had a storm come through and just about rip off a brand new front storm door off my house. The same day, I developed a nosebleed and fought with it for 3 days before I went to emergency. Then you guys saw all that I went through with that. That was insane. Who gets a nosebleed that can't be stopped? That's just
Crazy.
weird. I've never had a nosebleed in my life.
You need to get rid of that jar.
Yeah, I need to get rid of that jar. Is right. So, and then we're on lockdown, you know. So I got
Put
bad
that
vibes from
away.
it. So I'm gonna put it back.
Where you
I'm
got
gonna
it,
take
right?
I was gonna say, go right back to where you
I'm
got
taking
it.
it
Right
right
back to
back
where
where
you
I
got
got
it.
it and burying it and then covering that area with rocks to mark we are not to dig there. So I just had too many bad things happen.
Yeah.
So
how are you doing with the nosebleed? A couple people asked in the chat.
yeah,
They were concerned about you.
that
doing
was
better?
the most scariest thing I've ever been through my life. I mean, I scared my boyfriend. That's how bad it was. We're not talking some little bitty nosebleed there. We're talking it was literally pouring out of me like a pitcher. Like it was insane, and it was the most painful experience. What they have to do to stop it, they put what they call a nasal tampon up your sinus.
That's gross. Yeah,
They did it 3 times.
Wow.
Because the first time they didn't put in a long enough one, second time they didn't put in a long enough one, and it would last for about 10 hours, and then boom, I'd start gushing again.
Man.
The third time, I literally passed out on the gurney. She shoved it all the way to the back of my throat. Yeah. So I don't never want to go through that again. And they said,
Bury the jar.
and I never knew this. They said that this is nosebleed season. I'm going, there's a season for this? They're going, yeah. So, but I'm good now.
Well, that's good. I'm glad.
Glad to hear.
I have a question for you. We've talked to a couple people about this. I'm not sure how you feel about this, but with all the new technology coming out with metal detectors and that kind of thing, do you see yourself changing, or are you're totally happy with where you're going? Because as you talked about metal detecting on a budget, there's a couple detectors that are out there that are very budget friendly, the Simplex being one of them. And I was just curious what your thoughts were. We've been asking some people about that.
Well,
and what you feel
I
about
thought
that.
about getting the Simplex because I need a waterproof machine. And that would be one that I could afford. I kind of had a bad experience with a troll last week that I thought he didn't start out a troll and then ended up bashing me over Technetics and promoting that detector, Simplex. And I'm going, seriously? You ought not to be doing this on my channel. Sorry. But they kind of set me up and I fell for it. He wanted me to do a park hunt with a sniper coil. I did it. I put it on and then he bashed me and was pretty nasty about it. So I blocked him. And that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth about the machine, that somebody would go that far to bash another channel, which I realize it's not the company doing it. It's just somebody that bought their product, but still,
Yeah.
that just, so I'm waiting to think about it.
I get
No,
it.
don't-
Totally
don't-
understand.
Don't let one butthead put a sour taste in your mouth. It's a
I know.
decent machine for the price.
I'm sure it is. I just wanted something that I could go in the creeks around here because I got a lot of creeks and that. But the only bad thing about it is it won't fit in a suitcase.
Yeah,
not in a carry-on. I've had 3 people try to put it in the same size suitcase I have, and they said it wouldn't fit.
We actually measured it for
Mhm.
her.
Yeah, because I was thinking about buying one. So
it compacts down to about 18 inches.
did it really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
maybe I'll have to rethink that then.
In the after party, I'll go grab it and show you
Okay.
how small I
Okay.
can get.
Okay.
Speaking of the after party, what a good segue here. In
Wow.
about 9 minutes. 9 minutes, we're going to be off of the live stream, where we're going to
Oh,
be
wow.
in the what we call after party. And in our after party, we just kind of Brady Bunch it and get to talk to everyone who wants to be a part of it. We have some regulars, but if you're new to Metal Detecting Nation and you want to see what it's like just to kind of be on Zoom and have I guess a virtual metal detecting club meeting,
have fun.
I'll post the link here at about 7:58, 7:59 for you to join. We'd love to have you talk with us, tell us your stories, educate us. That would be a lot of fun if you could do that. So absolutely, we'd love to have you here. And any other questions for Deej?
Where all the cool kids hang.
I see my daughter's in the chat now, which could be good and
Deej,
bad.
we love the bottles digging videos too.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm missing it. And I've been talking to Ann. She's going, when are you coming over? I said, oh, let's wait till this thing gets to its peak and then I'll start coming. Because her dad's 90 some years old. And I
Wow.
always feel guilty, which I would just wave to him through the window. But I would feel guilty not at least doing that, because they let me come on their property anytime I want. They're just such nice people.
Yeah.
So, but we'll be back to digging that because Ann has a new neighbor who has a backhoe.
Ooh.
Woohoo! And she
Yeah.
says, I just hate to
That's
see
nice.
you working so hard. We're going to have him dig some trenches. I said, I want to catch that on film. So hopefully this summer we'll be able to do some of that. We'll see.
Awesome. Very cool. Looking forward to it.
It is. I love that you get everybody in your family involved in it.
Well, it's, you know, they're kind of an adopted family. That's Ryan, who I dig with. I met him at a collaboration hunt with Red Bean 58 up north. And then he wanted to go bottle digging, never been bottle digging. And then he just, you know, and I was battling with trouble with my back. So, you know, and he says, you know, any other dumps? I said, sure. But the other one is really tough to dig. And my back can't take it. Oh, I'll dig for you. You know, he was all gun ho for it. So, you know, and eventually my back healed up. So, but, you know, we had a blast last year when, you know, him and his wife and kids, we just have a good time when we go out there.
That's
So,
awesome. I'm
That's
glad
what
you
it's
share
all
it with
about.
us because it's nice to see different generations doing it.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I enjoy spending time with them. They've been, you know, texting me, checking up on me and that. So, you know, my own sons, they're just so busy with their jobs. They can't do it. My youngest, well, I've been thinking about buying a detector, Mom. His friends. I stopped at his place. He bought some property on a man-made lake. And all his friends take their campers there with their families. And every other weekend during the summer, they just all go there. So I stopped. I texted him, you know, are you at the lake? And he goes, yeah. I said, well, I'm on my way back from Brighton. You care if I stop by? Oh, no, stop by, Mom. Everybody wants to see you. And I pull up and get out of the car and they're going, it's Diggin With Deej. All his friends subscribed to me. And I didn't know
That's
it.
awesome.
They never commented. So then we had a little bit of a issue with a toddler that lost one of his toys in the sand and they couldn't find it. They had searched for 24 hours for this thing and the child would not stop crying. So I get my Ace 400 out, not even 10 minutes, I don't think. And we found it. And they're like, thank the Lord.
One way to keep a kid quiet.
Yeah, he stopped crying. So
Awesome.
that's
So,
the beauty
Deej-
of this hobby.
So, Deej, I have a question. Are you signed up to go to any events coming up? Or no?
I had a bad feeling about
this thing we're
this
going
thing.
through. Yeah.
thing that was approaching our country. And I had a bad feeling about it before I even flew down to Florida. I was kind of concerned.
Yeah,
That's
your
why
Florida
I-
trip.
Yeah, I went down to Florida, but I did not fly into Orlando because it's nothing but screaming kids on the flights. And I'm catch everything. I'm not kidding you. With being a breast survivor, I catch everything and it takes me forever to get well. I mean, you ask Karen. Karen's watched me battle ear, nose, throat, chest cold thing for like 2 and 3 months. So instead, Amy had me fly into Fort Lauderdale, and it was all adults, and nobody was coughing. You know, it was all good. So I was fortunate. But I went early enough in January because I was worried about that stuff coming there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed those videos. I love seeing, you know, the travel trailer and hanging out, like camping type stuff.
Yep.
And, you know, taking.
Oh yeah, and Amy backing that up all by herself.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Did a
it.
good job.
Yeah, we have a travel trailer, and you know, we plan on taking a lot of trips and stuff like that. And I like the metal detecting adventure in between. That's pretty cool. So,
I wish
all
I would have
right.
gotten to dig with Rob again, you know, this last January, but he wasn't available then. So.
All right, we're coming up on the 8 o'clock hour here, and I wanted to just again reach out to everyone. And if you want to be a part of our after party, I'm going to post a link here in about a minute, and I will just kind of explain it. Security reasons. You'll enter the waiting room, and then we'll accept you, and that's how it's going to work this evening. But Deej, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about the hobby, about maybe things in the future, or anything that, you know, comes to mind? And panel, if there's any other questions, love to hear them. Nope.
Just
We all
be
want to go to the
kind
after
your
party.
fellow detectorists. What?
Go ahead.
What'd you say, Nance?
No, go ahead.
I just said everybody just be kind to your fellow detectorists. You know, it's not for me, it's not about how big my channel is or how many subscribers I have. That's never been about that. It's been about making new friends, helping each other, being kind to each other, you know, being supportive. So just I wish all YouTubers would think about the true reason why they really got into YouTube. You know, some people, I'm seeing some people sway from the hobby differently. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's changing. So.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. We've discussed that both on the stream live and off the stream live. We all are documenting our finds and our adventures, and love the community. And at least that's why all of us, not speaking for everyone, but that's why we are being on YouTube. I am not waiting for my big paycheck to come from YouTube to pay for my mortgage.
I'm not getting rich. Believe you me, I'm not getting rich. I think I've earned $50 so far. That's it.
Well, we got a nice comment once to us about the reason why we do it was the guy said that he was paralyzed now and he can't detect anymore. He's in a wheelchair, so he enjoys watching us. He lives vicariously through us.
And that, you know, you feel that.
Yep.
That's what it's about too.
That's very cool.
There's a lot of reasons, you know, but that's definitely one of the top ones.
Right. And, you know, I kind of feel funny about the ads that I put on the end of some of my videos. But these are people that have done a lot for me. And only one of them do I earn anything off of. So, but, you know, Michigan Metal Detectives, they're supporting me on their website and on Facebook. So in turn, I support them.
There's no reason for you to feel funny about that, Deej.
I know, but I see so many people advertising so much, but I need to put
totally
something
different. People know the difference.
I need to add something because detectees.com offers my t-shirts, but everything rotates on their site. So I don't think my t-shirt's on there right now, but
everybody knows the difference.
I don't get anything from that either. It doesn't matter to me. That's not why I got into it, you know?
Exactly.
So, but it helps when I do earn something, but it's not the most important thing by any means.
All right. Well, on behalf of all of us
Awesome,
here,
Deej.
Deej, thank you so much for being a part of our stream and sharing your stories and your kindness and your very awesome words to us. And so, the people in chat are greeting with you, just so you know that. Not making money, but lots of fun and friends. Darcy says you'll meet Darcy
Yep.
in our after party. And it's just great. It's great having you here. You emulate what we're trying to do here at Metal Detecting Nation. So thank you very much for being a part of it.
Thank you so much for asking me.
Absolutely. All right. Just posted the link. And we are going to actually end our live stream here. Join us next week. And we have no idea what's going to happen next week. It's a secret.
Surprise.
So we're going to end out here in about 5.
Thank you, Deej. Thank you,
4,
everybody, for
Thank you,
watching.
Thank you. Thanks,
3,
everybody.
2, and we